Hello, and welcome back to this look into GMGOW difficulty. This is part 2 of this little video series. Here we find ourselves still in this dank, dark, creepy dungeon. We are, if you remember, very, very low level 1 Kratos with, I think, just our level 1 axe skills are unlocked and not much else. You may be like annoyed that I'm talking as if I don't know. I could definitely look up exactly where we are status wise, but I don't feel like it. So let's just say, yeah, we're a level 1 Kratos without much unlocked. Still rocking the starter gear. Here we're using Trip and then grinding Storm to quickly stun these guys. I showed this different recording, but same area and same approach in that tips video that I mentioned in part 1, and that I'll link to below in the description here. Of note is that you can trip some of these projectile guys, even if they're above your level. Their projectile guys seem to be so squishy that their hit reactions are really exaggerated. Doing an okay job of, well, until now, keeping these enemies in a line. Got away with a bit there. Got away with not being hit in the back, but okay, we've got him back in line. And that baseball swing is awesome. Connected with all three there, sort of Three Stooges style. Not sure what I'm trying to accomplish with this grinding Storm. Probably sometimes I do that to like try to power up the axe, get some frost going. And we're coming along to another fight. This fight, a different recording, is also in that tips video. As I said in that video, this is like arguably the hardest fight in GMGOW difficulty, or was for me, because I didn't know certain things. Like I didn't know you could use rage to ring out revenants. This fight will have, and here I don't think we can afford to unlock it yet. We were just seeing if we could buy anything, but we could have got that Atreus ability, but decided not to. Anyway, this fight, if you leave everyone alive, aside from this guy, it's a Revenant, 2 heavy draugrs, and a couple projectile throwing draugrs, and you just have like no breathing room if they all get onto the stage at the same time. So it can be pretty nasty. I ended up, learning a lot in this fight, learning about using Executioner's Cleave to knock people prone or to get ring outs with it, learning about using parry to set up Executioner's Cleave against heavies, how to handle 2 heavy draugrs at once, and eventually learning that you could use rage to ring out revenants, but it was a process, believe me. So I hope if you try GMGOW mode, I think you'll have an easier time with it than I did, and just from watching this video, hopefully it gives you a few ideas. Obviously here, I kind of did it a really messy way. I got hurt enough to where I triggered rage to get some health back, and then used rage twice overall. Once to ring out the Revenant, and then once to get health back and just ring out the 2 projectile guys. And now we've got it down to a 2 draugr, heavy draugr fight. And that's a solved problem for us. We know how to deal with that. I seem to be doing an okay job of sort of focusing my damage on the one that hasn't gone elite yet, this guy. Turning it into a 1 draugr fight. Although my dodging is it's not up to, it's not very impressive right now. I'm taking plenty of hits. So So there's a little dodge off setting. And looks like I decided, you know, let's not fight this guy in this tiny corner, which is probably a good idea. Notice plenty of health pickups in this area. Like, I'm at full health despite playing not very well there, taking plenty of hits. And we make our way into this encounter with humans. See that Hell's Touch is enough to turn all of them into sort of one-shot enemies, or all of them that were in range of it. It's funny that humans, you know, they don't really show up in God of War in this one, except for here. They're weirdly, these projectile guys show up in this fight. Like, I think it's a little case of game design driving the narrative, where someone was probably like, that fight would be better with some projectile guys, and someone else maybe in a meeting asked like, well, why would those guys be hanging out with humans? You know, they're not humans. And I imagine someone else at that meeting probably answered like, shut up, nerd. It's better this way. Anyway, the humans are so like in some previous God of Wars, humans show up as basically like health pickups. The fight against them is just so trivial. It's a trivial fight, but it ends up like horribly traumatizing Atreus. So not trivial in that sense. Sorry, Atreus. Anyway, here we are fighting these blueberry slurpee guys. The crown guy was immune to the axe, but once we got rid of him, we could. These guys are not immune to the axe, although they may be sort of resistant to it. You see, they're not taking much damage from it, and I'm sure part of that is because they're higher level and elite. Let them get elite, but they may also, like, if I had switched to fists here, maybe this would go a little faster. Boy, I tell you, every explosion of blueberry blast slurpee just looks so refreshing. And here we see my poor traumatized son and me helpfully whipping the axe near his head. We're making our way, about to meet Brock, I believe, and we'll have some upgrading to do. I think we get to use our first Frozen Flame and unlock the... well, we can't afford to unlock them, but we now have access to... We'll have access to level 2 axe skills. And we just bought anything we could. So we've got the boar chest armor. And we're a slightly less lowly level 1 Kratos now. Looks like sort of hoping to use this, more great dodging by me, hoping to use this little alcove to mitigate some of the projectiles heading our way while we get rid of this heavy.
See what my place adequate. You know what's adequate?
Here's a failed ring out. Clearly there's like an invisible wall right there, sort of obnoxious. That goes like it was a level 1 guy, so it wasn't. Sometimes when you try to ring out people that are over your level, they're like saved by an invisible wall. You have to, like, you can get past it by juggling them, but you can't just like launch them with the axe past it. But that did not look like what was going on there. Exploring all the nooks and crannies before we move on. Oh, here we are, unlocking our first level 2 axe upgrade. We picked Whirling Storm. Whirling Storm is like a dash attack. You dodge and then press forward and attack, light attack, and you do this like 2-hit sort of dashing forward thing. It's really cool. Like if you connect with the big baseball swing and happen to launch someone in the air, you can use Whirling Storm to kind of catch up with them and start juggling them. You can work it into combos, and it sort of drives Kratos forward, drives the enemies backwards. It's a way of getting some movement into your juggles, into your combos, and this can help sort of with ring outs, pushing people off edges. It can help just mitigate being interrupted. Like often, if you're moving even just a little bit with Whirling Storm, you will end up avoiding getting interrupted, getting hit by projectiles. So that's a good move. Obviously, I was obsessed with kicking that guy off the ledge. Here, I failed to notice these are elite projectile guys, and like my attempt to trip that guy failed. My attempt to trip the guy behind him with the axe recall. That's funny. Enemies seem to often have armor like on their shins, but they can be tripped from behind. Or like if you plant the axe in the ground and let them step on it, you can kind of like yank the rug out from under them sometimes. But definitely wasn't trying to trip that guy on purpose. Anyway, those elite projectile guys, a lot less squishy than their normal brethren. Here, it's interesting. This heavy draugr like seemed to spawn inside the spike trap, so the collision seems to be messed up, where it's not recognizing this should be killing this guy because he was born inside of it. So he failed to trigger the point where it says like, "Yep, you're being hit by this." When was the last time we faced a lone level 1 draugr? What a treat. Here, using that double quick turn at the end of that combo, that 4-hit heavy finisher combo has sort of a slow recovery animation, and you can mitigate it by using quick turn a couple times in succession. So you'll see me doing that often. We just got a horn, our first horn of blood horn. So we're on our way to getting our first rage upgrade, which is important. The first rage upgrade, I think, gives you a second bar of rage, which means you have the chance of, if you use it once really... Oh, we're unlocking a bunch of stuff here. Precision throw, and frost rush. So I think we have all the level 2 axe upgrades now, except for hunter killer. And here's our second troll fight. You can see how effective Executioner's Cleave does pretty good damage on him. This fight is all about limiting, not overcommitting. You saw Executioner's Cleave there save me from taking damage from his lava wave while I was getting rid of that projectile guy. This fight, there's a bunch of projectile guys. They'll hit you from every angle. You basically want to avoid putting yourself in the middle of trouble. Pick your moments. This guy has there's a nice whiff by me. This attack right here, where he takes he slams down his column and then takes a staggering step forward. He has a bunch of AoE fire damage on the ground behind him. It's tempting to try to punish him after he whiffs on that attack, but if you do, you'll basically catch on fire, so don't chase him after that attack. You saw me use rage there to get rid of my burning effect and get some health back. There, again, Executioner's Cleave saving me from taking some projectile damage from his lava wave. A little bit of using the environment to protect myself from him. Here, Yeah, that's Frost Rush. If you use it on a downed enemy, it's the sprinting R1 move, and if you use it on a downed enemy, you'll bounce them off the ground and immediately start juggling them. So very, very handy. Although it can lead to risky behavior. As soon as you sort of learn about that, it's hard to not try to use it on everyone, and everyone becomes, you just want to juggle everyone. And in this fight, overextending yourself like that will get you killed. You saw me make a rare, wise decision back there. Like I tripped one guy, was running towards him, and then I decided to go past him towards the guy behind him, which is, like, you don't want to go for the guy in the middle of a bunch of enemies on the screen. You want to go for the people on the ends, and then rotate so that everyone's lined up. If you go for the people in the middle, you're gonna pay for it often. I think that was the last projectile, guys, so we're back to Brenna Dowdy. Again, look at that AoE fire on the ground next to him. I keep failing to hit him in the hand with my axe throw here. If you hit him in the hand, you interrupt his lava wave projectile spray. You can even, I think, you can catch that lava wave with a parry, and if you have the parry that fires back a projectile, that actually works on his lava wave, which is sort of surprising. Here's doing his crazy drunken swagger swinging at nothing move. That's like his final phase attack. So we did it. We got our second troll, and he gives us our first heavy runic attack, Ivaldi's Anvil. So we are on our way. We're climbing in power. As I said, I used Rage to clear status effect here. That's often how I end up using Rage in GMGOW War mode. Less to like turn it on and just wail on people, and more to clear status effects or to we're buying Agile Strike. More to clear. Oh, here's yeah, that's Agile Strike right there. That lunging gut punch. It's the shield equivalent of shield combat equivalent of Whirling Storm, where you dodge forwards and attack. And Kratos like covers a bunch of ground with it. It's basically a way of sucker punching enemies. You cover so much ground that often they're unprepared for it. They're like just beginning their wind up or not even attacking, and you like leap into them and uppercut them in the solar plexus. It's pretty awesome, especially in concert with some other moves that we'll get later. But here's our first encounter with nightmares. Not much to say about these guys. They're nobody's favorite. I think I do a poor job here and take some hits. I often sort of underutilize Atreus in these moments. He's pretty good at like stunning or later on just outright killing nightmares, but often I like sort of pig-headedly insist on just doing it all myself with throwing the axe. As I was saying, often in this mode you use Rage more to clear status effects or to get quick ring outs, and less to like just do raw damage against people, or to get health back. You'll use it to get health back. But here we are in Freya's basement. We just got our first talisman there. So yeah, we've got a heavy light runic talisman, 4 shoulder guards, and we made it to the Lake of Nine. So hooray! Here we meet Brock. That's the first thing we'll do is upgrade as much stuff as we can. Yeah, we're buying the full boar hide set and throwing on any enchantments we can, upgrading everything we can. You can see on the right we're still a mid-level 1, but we're getting there. Now, the next thing we do, we are not doing the main story. The main story is go down the bridge, go through that tower, and head for the mountain. But we're gonna detour and do as much side content as we possibly can before going in there. Here's the introduction of these poison guys. And I clearly am eyeing that gap in the wall. It's funny that this third guy, or fourth guy, climbing up where the other guy just went flying. Yeah, here's more Frost Rush into Juggle, into Ring Out. Trip, Frost Rush, Whirling Storm to drive him towards the gap. He's elite, otherwise that baseball swing would have done it, probably. He was level 3 once he went elite, and we are still level 1. So yeah, we made a right at the tower, and we're going to just go clockwise around the lake, scooping up as many resources as we can. This is our second nightmare encounter. Kratos says, we veer off the course only to gather resources to help us on our journey, and that is actually like totally correct. That is how it works in this game. You definitely can do side stuff. You don't have to wait until late game to do it, and it's challenging to do it early, but the rewards definitely make the main story like a lot easier, a lot more manageable, to the point that you will eventually just like out level the main story, and that's actually quite fun. Even in Give Me God of War mode, you end up turning it into, I mean, it feels way more like normal mode once you hit a certain point. We're not gonna come anywhere near that point in this series of videos, but I should talk about what's happening here. This is our first Realm Tear. 2 level 6 draugr against level 1 Kratos. So this is, well, we'll just see how this goes. Look how little damage that did to that guy. And you can see I think I instinctively tried to parry his little jab attack and paid the price for it. So here you can see I'm like, all right, I tried it once. I'm not doing that one, not today. Instead, we make our way clockwise over to the first Brazier fight, our first Brazier fight at the Iron Coast. These are level 2 and 3 enemies, it looks like. But so over our level, but not instant death over our level. That Realm Tear. That went poorly. That Realm Tear is sort of the one thing that is probably not worth the effort at this point in the game, but everything else, these other things where enemies are a little bit over your level, they are doable. And in fact, you'll see that we will get our revenge on these guys that just wrecked us. But that's going to have to wait until the next video. So we'll pick this up then on this gross, stinking shoreline. And I will talk to you then.